Dear students, welcome to online class 10. Today, I am going to give you some information about completing sentence that I did in the previous class. Then, the network made a great problem for me and my written words were not visible to you. Today, I am going to give you some information about completing sentence from the very beginning of it. Dear students, whenever you are asked to complete a sentence, then you should be very much careful about 4 items. What are these 4 items? First, you should try to understand what is meant by the given phrase. The examiner will give you one part of the sentence. You will complete the sentence by writing the another part according to its meaning. So you should try to understand the meaning of the given part. Then you should try to understand what type of conjunctions or linkers have been given in the sentence. According to the conjunctions or linkers, you should identify what type of sentence it is. Just like you should try to understand if the sentence is complex or compound or simple. All of you know that in a simple sentence, I or you cannot use any kind of conjunction. You should only use linkers. Whenever a conjunction is used in a sentence, then you should understand that. You should make it understandable that it is a complex or compound sentence. To identify complex sentence, to make a complex sentence, the examiner will use since, as, when, though, although, even if, unless, any type of relative pronoun, so that, so, adjective that, such type of conjunctions are used in a complex sentence. In a compound sentence, and so, and therefore, but, yet, or, otherwise, these are used in a compound sentence. And another linkers. Do you know what are the linkers? Linkers cannot join two clause. Linkers can join one phrase and another clause. In a simple sentence, there will be one clause only, and the other words will be used as a phrase. So now, dear students, I am going to start completing sentence, and I have given you some information. What will you do before completing a sentence? You will, after identifying the sentence, whether it is simple, complex, or compound, then you should go right from subverb. What type of verb will you use in the next clause? According to rules, this conjunction or this connector or this linker can connect such type of tense. You should be much more attentive for right forms of verb. Now, I am going to start completing sentence. I have given you some information in the previous class about since, as, because, or for. Now, I am going to write down some sentences on the board and watch the sentences. What I am going to write. Look at the board. Although although they tried hard, although they tried hard, though we worked hard, even if they played well, even if they played well. Now, dear students, you can see that I have written one clause only, and I have started the sentence by using a conjunction. What is it? Although, though, even if. And all of you know that you should know these conjunctions are used in a complex sentence. As a student of class 10, you should know it. And I think you know it. Although, though, and even if, these three conjunctions are used to make a complex sentence. After these conjunctions, there will be a clause, and it has a verb. It has a verb. You can identify what type of sentence it is. It is complex sentence. These sentences are complex sentence. Yes, these sentences are combined with although, though, and even if. Dears, if you find any sentence that has been joined or combined with though, although, and even if, you should know that these three conjunctions combine two clauses of opposite meaning. Although, though, and even if always combine two clauses that have opposite meaning, not same meaning, not similar meaning. Just like if the first clause or given clause is in affirmative sense, you should write the another clause in negative sense. Because though, although, and even if always combine two clauses of opposite meaning. Now, dears, first try to understand although, though, or even if makes which sentence? Complex sentence. Two clauses should be in opposite meaning. Two clauses should be in opposite meaning. Now, dears, you know it is a complex sentence, and I have given you an information that this clause will combine two clauses of opposite meaning. Now, write from subverb. These three conjunctions or connectors always combine two clauses of same tense. If it is present tense, the another clause will be in present tense. If it is past tense, the another clause will be in past tense. So, what is the rule? First rule, though, although, or even if combines two clauses of different meaning. It makes complex sentence, and you will use the same tense that you will write. The examiner will give you a verb which has a tense, and you will use the same tense that you will write. Now dears, opposite meaning, although they tried hard, you know the meaning of that sentence, I think, because the clause which you are going to write should be a relation. Should be a relation. You cannot write anything. There will be a relation between the two clauses. Although they tried hard, what will you write? You can write anything. Although they tried hard, they failed to do the work. They failed to do the work. They tried hard. For that reason, they should do the work, but they failed to do the work. So the meaning is opposite. Though, although, or even if always combine two clauses of opposite meaning, but the tense will be the same. Though we worked hard, as I have worked hard, I should earn enough. Though I worked hard, I should be prosperous. But though we worked hard, we did not earn enough. Though we worked hard, we did not earn enough. Even if they played oil, so they need to win the match. But even if they played oil, what is the meaning of even if? Emonki jodio. They played oil, they were defeated. Even if they played oil, they were defeated. You can write another thing also, but there should be a relation between the two clauses. I have used, the examiner have used played, and you have used were defeated. Both the clauses are in past tense. So same tense, but meaning is opposite. So the structure should be, what will be the structure? Write down the structure. What is the structure? Although, though, or even if. Subject, finite verb, and object. Imagine the examiner has given you this part. You will write that part, full clause. Subject, finite verb, and object. Both the clauses should have the opposite meaning. The tense will be the same, okay? The writer may give you this part, then you should write that part. Okay? Now dears, though, although, or even if are used to make complex sentence, transfer your brain to transformation. What have you used to make a complex sentence that were joined with though, although, even if into compound sentence? What will you use? The sentences that were combined with though, although, if you want to transform it into compound sentence, you should use two conjunctions. What are they? But or yet. But or yet. Now dears, but yet. Dears, you know the meaning of but or yet. these two conjunctions are used to make a compound sentence. Dear students, but or yet are used to make a compound sentence. You know the meaning? And these compound sentences should have the opposite meaning. You cannot write the same meaning, opposite meaning. But or yet, these two conjunctions are used at the middle of the sentence. You cannot write but at the very beginning of the sentence. You should write it at the middle of the sentence, and the first word will be given first. They played well. They played well. This is a clause. But they played well, but the another part should be completed by you. We went to Dhaka, but I have written these two sentences by using but ব্যবহার করে লিখেছি. And you should remember that in a compound sentence, the action of the verb that has occurred first should be used at the first of the sentence, at the very beginning of the sentence. Then you should use the next activity. I am using yet. They came here, yet dash. I had much money, yet. Now viewers, what is the difference of but or yet? If the examiner use but, and if you want to use the same subject here, you need not to use the subject again. But if the subject is different, you should use the subject here. But when the examiner combine the sentence with the use of yet, the subject may be the same or different. Always you must use the subject here. Whenever the sentence is combined with yet, then you should use the full clause, subject, verb, object. But if the sentence is combined with but, you need not to use the subject here if the subject is the same. But if the subject is different, you should use. Now dears, but is a conjunction that combines two clauses and makes a compound sentence. Yet is also. And but or yet will combine two clauses of opposite meaning. I have written the first action here. They played well, but you can write did not win the match. They played well, but did not win the match. Okay? This action is opposite from that. And I have used the same tense. Past indefinite, past indefinite. So, you can identify that if the sentence is formed with the use of but or yet, both the verbs will be in same tense. Okay? Now, there's we went to Dhaka, but if you want to use the same subject again, then you need not to use it. We went to Dhaka but did not meet with him. But did not meet with him. Okay? I have used the same subject, and for that reason, after but, I have not used the subject. But if the sentence joins with yet, then you should write the subject, whether it will be the same or different. They came here, yet. It is this clause expresses the meaning affirmatively. You will write the clause that will express the meaning negatively. Opposite. They came here, yet they did not meet with me. They came here, but they did not meet with me. Here, you can notice that I have used the subject again, because I have already told you, if the sentence joins with the conjunction yet, then you should use the subject again. You should write the full clause, complete clause. If you erase they came here, yet did not meet with me, the examiner will not give you any mark. So you should use they. But if you write here, they played well, but they did not win the match, you can say it. সে দরিদ্র কিন্তু সৎ. I don't write he is poor but he is honest. Whenever you hear such type of sentence, it will be very much difficult to you to understand that I have used the same subject, same verb again after but. Now, I had much money, yet. Here it is past indefinite tense, yet I did not help the poor. I did not help the poor. Help the poor. Now, dears, I think you can understand that but or yet always makes compound sentence, and both the clauses should have opposite meaning, but both the clauses should follow same tense. Okay? Now, dears, if you want to make it a simple sentence, you cannot use any kind of conjunction. You should use a linker. What type of linker will be used to make this sentence into simple sentence? Dears, a simple sentence has one clause only. That means one subject, one finite verb, and one object. With the use of a linker, you can use another phrase, not clause, phrase. And the linkers will be in spite of or despite. Despite. You cannot use despite of. No, despite. What is the meaning of in spite of and despite? In spite of এবং despite এর অর্থটা হচ্ছে সত্ত্বেও. Though, although অর্থ হচ্ছে যদিও, even if এমনকি যদিও, but or yet কিন্তু তবুও, in spite of or despite will express the meaning সত্ত্বেও. Its meaning is সত্ত্বেও. Now, these are the linkers, not conjunction. Look at the board, please. In spite of having riches. In spite of having riches. Look at the board, please. After in spite of, I have used the ing form of the verb and then object. You may use in spite of my being rich. Here, after in spite of, I have used a possessive form and then the ing form of verb and object. You can write it in the another form. I am using despite here. Despite his poverty. Despite his poverty. What have I used? I have used after despite a possessive form and a noun. These are the structure of a phrase. Okay? After in spite of, the examiner may give you ing form and object. He may give you a possessive form, ing form and object. Possessive form and noun. These are the structure of a phrase. Now, you should understand the meaning of the given part. What is the meaning? In spite of having riches. The meaning সত্ত্বেও. You know the meaning of riches? Having. It is in affirmative form. I think it is the affirmative quality of a person. In spite of having riches, you should write a clause here. You should write a clause here. You should use subject, verb, object. But there is no tense. I cannot identify any tense here. So you can write it in any tense. But you should remember that the action of that phrase is going on from the past. So you should write a past tense here. In spite of having riches, you can use a past tense. You can also use a present tense. Just like look at the board. In spite of having riches, I did not help you. I have write it. You may write, in spite of having riches, I do not help you. In spite of having riches, I will not help you. You can write any tense. Because I have not given you any information which tense you will use in the next clause. Because there is no tense. The structure, I am going to write the structure. Dear students, you should sit with a khata and a pen and consider yourself that you are sitting before me, though I am not able to see you. But you should consider yourself that you are sitting before me. Structure, in spite of, or despite. In spite of or despite. Then three structure may be used as phrase. Ing form of verb and object. Possessive form, possessive and ing form of verb and then object, or possessive and a noun. This may be given and you should write another subject, finite verb and object. Okay, dears? Now, in spite of my being rich, what will you do? You can use this. In spite of my being rich, I am not honest. Okay? Despite his poverty, he is honest. You can write it. Okay? Now, dears, I am going to give you information about another rules. Dears, so that, you know, it is a conjunction. So that or in order that. In order that. So that or in order that. And I think all of you know the meaning of these two clauses. Jate, jate. These two clauses will make a complex sentence. These two clauses are used for making a complex sentence. And you know the meaning. I have written the meaning. Jate. Jate. So, these two clauses may not be used at the very beginning of the sentence. These two clauses are always used in the middle of the sentence. There will be a clause and the conjunctions will be given here. Another clause will be at the last part of the sentence. Now, dears, I am going to write some sentences. Oh, look at the board. These two clauses always combine, these two conjunctions always combine two clauses that will express the aim or objective of you. The work that has done here, why are you doing this work? The next clause will express it. Look at, I went to Dhaka. I went to Dhaka. This action was done by you, done by me. I went to Dhaka. Why? Why? The answer will be given after the conjunction. I have done this action, and why have I done it? The answer will be given in the next clause. That means the examiner will give you so that as a conjunction. I went to Dhaka so that. And you will write the answer why I have gone to Dhaka. The action, why the first action has done, the second clause will express the cause. So that they played well in order that. Just I am writing two sentences only. The first part will give you an information what type of verb you will write. I have used here went, played. You can see both the verbs are in past indefinite tense. I can write the man calls me so that. In this clause, the verb is in present indefinite tense. So, you can identify whenever the examiner will combine a sentence with the use of so that or in order that, the tense of the first clause may be in present indefinite tense or future indefinite tense. In present tense or future tense. Then you will write the another clause. What will you write? And the second clause will be a complete clause. That means you should write the subject, verb and object. Okay? Now, what will you write? First, try to understand the meaning, and then according to meaning, you will write something there. The structure will be, just I am going to write it first, then I will give you the structure. I went to Dhaka so that the tense is in past tense, so you should use could. So that I could buy a car. I went to Dhaka so that I could buy a car. That I am giving a pressure where I could buy a car. The tense is in past tense and I have written could buy. It is past conditional. Could buy. You may use might. Might. It is a possibility. I have not done it. It was the possibility. Could or might always expresses the meaning that have had a possibility. Had, not have, or that has. It is not in present tense. That had a possibility. I went to Dhaka so that I could or I might buy a car. Here, the man calls me so that or in order that he. It is in present. He gives me the information. Give me the information. You can notice that I have used can and verb 1 as the verb of the first clause is in present tense. I have used can and verb 1. You can also may. So the structure will be structure. Dears, look at the board very much carefully. This verb may be given in present tense or past tense. Finite verb 1 or 2. Then object. So that or in order that. In order that. Then the another clause, the structure of another clause will be, you should use subject here. If the first verb is in present tense, you will use can or may. But first verb is in past tense, you should use could or might. Then verb 1 plus object. Whenever I have given you instruction about right forms of verb, I told you the sentences that have been joined with so that or in order that. If the first verb is in present tense, the second verb will be used by using can or may and verb 1. If the first verb is in past tense, then you will use could or might and verb 1. Okay? So that or in order that will combine two clauses that express aim or objective in the second clause. The aim of the first action will be expressed in the second clause. প্রথম ক্লজের লক্ষ্যটা কি বা উদ্দেশ্যটা কি সেটা প্রকাশিত হবে আমার দ্বিতীয় ক্লজ দিয়ে। Clear? Now dears, I am going to erase the sentences. If I tell you the complex sentences that have been joined with so that or in order that, transform it into compound sentence, what will you do? What type of conjunction you will use? I don't know. Sorry, I cannot give any kind of feedback from you. if the sentence joins with so that or in order that, it will be complex sentence. Whenever you will transform it into compound sentence, you will use and so. Okay, dears, I have already given you some information about simple, complex and compound. In a compound sentence, the action that will be done first should be at the very beginning of the sentence, and the next work, next action will be given after the conjunction. That means and so. Dear students, and so is a conjunction that is used to make a compound sentence. Dears, look at the board. First, I will write the aim or objective of the second clause. First, I will write the aim or objective. How can you notice that the first clause is an aim or an adjective? How? I want to buy a car. I want to buy a car. By using want to, I have already expresses my aim or my objective. I want to buy a car. I have already expressed my aim. And for that reason, what I have done? I want to buy a car. If the writer use only and, you should use so. Because an aim or an objective will be combined with the action with the use of the conjunction and so. Okay, dears? I want to buy a car and so. My objective is it. My aim is to buy a car. And for that reason, what I have done, what I will do, what I am going to do. I wanted to buy a car. Dear students, I have written the same sentence here, but the tense is different. What? Here I have used want, but there I have used wanted. I wanted to buy a car, and so. The examiner may not give you so, but you should know that the object or aim and the action will be combined with the use of and so. You will write so. And after and so, there will be a full clause. Though I have told you, whenever you will combine a sentence with the use of and, you need not to use another subject if the subject is the same. But if the sentence is connected with and so, then you should write the subject, though the subject is the same. I want to buy a car, and so I. This is in present tense. You should write the verb 1 of the sentence. And so I go to Dhaka. And so I go to Dhaka. I wanted to buy a car. And so I went to Dhaka. Went to Dhaka. So dears, if the sentence is combined with and so, it will be a compound sentence, and the objective or aim will be given in the first part of the sentence, and the second part will be the action, what you will do. And the structure is subject. If the sentence is in present tense, then want to or wants to. If the sentence is in past tense, wanted to. Wanted to. Then verb 1 plus object. This will be given for you. And The examiner may give you and, but you should write so. And so, you will write the action, subject, finite verb 1 or 2 plus object. So, it is the aim. It is the aim. And it is the action. Okay, dears? Now, you can clearly identify that if the sentence is combined with so that or in order that, it will be a complex sentence and the action will be given first, the aim will be given in the second part. Whenever you are asked to change or transform it into compound sentence, you will use and so, then the aim will be in the first part, the action will be in the second part. To make you understand that it is aim or objective, then I will use want to or wanted to, then verb 1. If it is want to, then you will use the present form of the verb. If it is wanted to, then you will use the past tense or past indefinite tense of the verb that you are going to use. Meaning will be related. Now, dears, okay, I will come to the next class with another information. Till then, you will be sound and always in a jolly mind. Thank you.